And are you all ready for the next segment, next speaker? We all are very much excited. And thanks to Patriji Meditation Channel, thanks to Padma Madam, thanks to each and everyone who is working behind the screens for carrying this energy forward. With no delay, let's welcome another speaker of today's session, that is Geeta Saradarian. Geeta Saradarian is a spiritual teacher, author, and educator known for her work in spiritual growth, spirituality, and self realization. Through her writings and teachings, she offers insights and guidance on living a purposeful and harmonious life. Her key contributions are the spiritual teachings, which emphasize self awareness, compassion, and inner transformation. She has authored and has written books on spirituality, personal development, and holistic living. As an educator, she shares practical wisdom on applying spiritual principles in daily life. The impact what she has made is that Geeta Saradarian's work inspires individuals to cultivate qualities like love, kindness, and mindfulness, promoting a balanced and fulfilling life. This is all about our speaker today, Geeta Saradarian ma'am. And we are very honored to invite Geeta Saradarian madam here. Over to Aparna madam. She will continue.
Thank you, Hema ma'am. Although everybody will be expecting Geeta Saradarian ma'am, it's not that I have changed some face and I am here. Masters Geeta ma'am was very much willing to be part of this session, but due to her prior commitments, she was unable to join us. So she has sent us a few pages from her father's book, The Family, and the Family Foundation of Human Society. And from that, chapter 9, the women's movement, I'll be reading out to you. And I'm so privileged and happy that I'm going to read those pages to you all. This will be a simple narration from my side. And thanks to Geeta ma'am for giving us this piece of few pages of her treasure. And we will cherish it forever as a memory on our channel. Thank you so much, ma'am. So over to the pages, masters. So the words, what she said before I start is that she has an annual intensive conference and celebration for Vaisakhi. Buddha Purnima is going to come. So that's the reason she's not able to make it. She has prior commitments. Now coming to the chapter 9, the women's movement. In 1924, this world mother, the great soul, great group soul, sent a ray of inspiration, and women's movement started in America, in Asia, in many, many countries. With this movement, the real core of the world mother slowly expands and becomes more powerful in order to lead humanity to its destination. Now, what happened? And why did this happen? The objectives of the real inspiration that came from this world mother to the women to the world were these. The first was to make women take in their hands the leadership of the world in cooperation with men on equal basis. That was the first ray of inspiration which she projected into human consciousness. That a woman will understand her dignity, her power, her prestige, her glory, her creative resources, and stand by man to create a new world. For many, many ages, the woman was in darkness. They left in her in darkness. They did not give her a chance to develop and unfold. They made her a machine for sex, for cooking, for washing, for domestic uses, and women was not able to break through. In 1924, a tremendous energy came down from the world mother to inspire all women in the world to stand for their own rights. That was the first inspiration that she sent. Part 2. The second inspiration was to prevent pollution. This was a tremendous energy that gave to women eventually the motivation to stand against pollution. What kind of pollution? Chemical pollution, food pollution, moral pollution, mental and emotional pollution? Because a mother does not want her children to live in pollution. Because a mother is always wanting to protect. So if you look at the movements in the world now, it is mostly women-inspired activities. A woman cares for the children, a woman cares for the trees, and the forest, for rivers, for oceans, and she does not want her children to go into the poisonous waters. She knows the value of the child because for 9 months she was carrying that baby in her. Man did not carry the child for 9 months, mommy carried. So the woman has the sense now that this world is going to be purified and cleaned. And that is the second task that was inspired by the world mother. Going further, masters. 3. The third task is to prevent the children from using any drugs. It is the task of women to mobilize and eventually to prevent the use of any kind of destructive drugs from spreading in the schools, in the communities. They made statistical studies and they found that 90% of the school children are using marijuana and many other drugs, thousands and millions of them, all kinds. Well, mother does not want this. Who is that mother? The world mother does not want it. And telepathically, through inspiration, through great ladies living in this world, this message was given to humanity, saying that the woman must be alert. We can destroy this world if the woman is not alert, if the woman does not watch the children and prevent them from using drugs. Do you see how practical it is? And those mothers who perform and accomplish these tasks are magnetically drawn to the world mother. As they get closer, they manifest closer communication with the world mother and express the greatest depth, the greater beauty of the world mother in the world relationships. The fourth point. The fourth task is to lead the children or their husbands or anybody around them to a great vision, inspiring and encouraging them so that they have a vision. My child, you're going to be an astronaut. You are going to be a lawyer, a doctor, a philosopher, a beautiful man, a beautiful woman. For a woman, everyone is her child. Even her husband is her child. And if the husband does sneaky things, he makes the woman mommy so that mommy forgives him. This is psychological trick. A man came and he was doing nasty things. The woman said, I'm going to divorce you. He became like a child. He said, please forgive me. Immediately the heart of the woman opened. She said, okay, I will forgive you now, but don't repeat this. I know she's going to forgive him 500 times, but the man must not take advantage of that. So, masters, you can clearly see the message of the role of women has been given us to us. The fifth task is to bring peace to earth. This is so beautiful. Women do not want children to kill each other. No woman wants her children to go and kill other children and be killed. And that is now a great inspiration in their hearts. They stand for the peace of all humanity, in which everyone will be righteously and beautifully sharing the joys and the abundance of the planet. That is what mother wants. If mother has some cookies, she does not give 10 to one child, one to another child. She says, share, 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 and be happy. Sit and eat peacefully. So the great destiny of a woman is to work for peace. Peace where? In her individual life, peace in her family life, peace in her church and groups, peace in her nation, peace in humanity. Eventually, she will achieve the plan that the world mother is projecting into her heart. As a woman becomes more sensitive to the plan and the world mother comes closer to her, eventually she will become a world mother because she will totally reflect what the world mother wants. The sixth task is to bring beauty, harmony, understanding, and solutions to relationships and religious and national differences and problems. I wish the nations would send women messengers to build bridges between nations and solve problems. You would be amazed how deeply they can understand the questions because, in essence, a woman is a great psychologist. A psychologist is a person who understands the psyche, the behavior, the expressions, the meanings, the causes of her children. She knows it for 5, 6, 7 years. She watches the child. She understands what the child means. So naturally, she's a great psychiatrist or a psychologist. She understands man. She understands women better than men do. Man is busy with different things. Man goes and works all the day and comes home tired. Of course, women is doing that also now. But a woman has more chances to stay with the children and watch them and learn from them. Many, many young women have come and told me that their children are teaching them so much. They are learning from the children. They are becoming a natural psychologist through their children, watching them and seeing them. So women know how to bring beauty and harmony between the children. Sometimes national problems are exactly the problems between a daughter and a son. If a woman can solve the problems between her children, she can solve the greater problems, which are greater because of the number of people involved. But the problem is the same mathematical problem. 2 times 2 makes 4, whether it is on an individual level or on a national level. One of the greatest roles of the man is to bring beauty, harmony, and understanding. 3 great qualities: beauty, because she has a sense of beauty; harmony, because she had that sense; and understanding, because she understands what is going on in the hearts of the children. The 7th task is to make an average man, their children, or any relative or anybody around them noble, solemn, progressive, and heroic. Women must inspire these things, and they do that. Can't you dress a little better? Shave your face, my goodness. Come on, dress this way. Put your shirt that way, or your shoes are not shining. They do it always. I saw many women when they're walking with their husbands brush a bit of dirt from their husband's shoulders. That's better, they say. They fix them slowly, here and there, so that they represent what? They represent a little more beauty, a little more solemnity. For example, if a man makes ugly jokes, the woman says, "Oh my goodness, my husband, don't do that." Speak well. So they want their husband to become noble, their children to be noble, heroic, artistic, and creative. The women's role is to inspire man. There is not a single man in the world who is not inspired by women. The source of inspiration and creativity is a woman, whether we like it or not. You see the boys on Saturday night, how they start shaving, cleaning this and that. What's happening? They are going to meet their girlfriends. The image, the dream of the women puts them into shape. That is very true. Some women are natural inspirers, and that inspiration is within her heart. She's going to use it and not accept people around her as they are. This is her very heavy responsibility, a very heavy saying. There is philosophy that says, accept everyone as they are. Well, if she accepts everyone as they are, nobody will progress. She's not going to accept, but she will do it with love. She will say, "I don't accept that kind of face. Come on, shave or make a beautiful beard or dress better. Educate yourself. Come on. When I went to the party, you made me ashamed." Of course, a man does this also, but the women can really do it. And if the woman speaks to the man, what she says stays 3, 4, or 5 months in his head. But when a man speaks to the woman, she says, "I know it already." Means you don't need to tell me, I know it. I'm better intelligent than you might be. The next task was inspired from this world mother was, and is to protect the natural beauties, is to protect nature, wild animals, flowers, trees, gardens, everything. This is so beautiful. The woman is going to take care of nature, inspiring man, working through women, through groups and communities so that the natural beauties are protected all over the world. Why is that? In protecting the natural life, you will protect all life. For example, if you're healthy, you have a great energy sources for your lungs, your brains. Each pine tree channels a tremendous amount of psychic energy. When your pine trees are dying, when your flowers are dying, cosmic energies and forces have no chance to transmit themselves and reach you. So nature is created in such a way that everything is related to everything. And when you take one link out, you break the chain. That is why the world mother is going to take care of the natural beauty of lakes, trees, mountains, everything. There is a committee in Sedona, Arizona. It is a committee called How to Keep Sedona Beautiful. The members are mostly women, 60, 70, 80 years old. And you can see them, their purple jackets, walking in the trees near the rivers, picking up bottles, cans, dirty things, and putting them in their bags. One day I said, "What are you doing?" They said, "We want the city to be really pure and beautiful." One day, when I was in a park, 3 or 4 boys came and brought maybe 36 bottles of beer. After they drank, they broke the bottles in the park. A woman came. She was 82 years old. She looked and she could not speak, but she was so overcome. She started to scream and cry. And the boys, thinking that this woman was having a heart attack or that something was wrong, rushed to her and they said, "What's happening to you? Why are you crying? Why are you screaming?" She said, "Why? Because you're breaking the bottles and destroying the beauty of this place." They went back, and started to collect every piece of the glass. Do you see what is happening? Now, these things are happening more and more everywhere, not just in the city, in that city. Women are becoming more aware with this pollution, with this destruction. Life cannot be preserved or it will be painful. The next task is to heal the psychological ills of the world. They will try. This is very advanced thing and it is happening. It is interesting. I went to many places in Europe and Asia. Most of the healers in many, many departments are women. Women are increasing in the healing arts to such a degree that you get amazed. They are entering into every kind of healing occupation. Besides that, they are trying to heal with their advice and love and charm and nobility and gracefulness. This is a very important thing that women must exercise. How can she heal a man who is really mixed up because of his emotional turmoil? Well, you touch his head a little, you hug him, you say a few nice words, and he's healed. When a child falls down, the child goes to his mother. I raised 5 children and I know these things. Mommy is sitting there and daddy is sitting there. Immediately, if my daughter or son would fall down and hurt themselves, they would run and cry, "Mommy," not daddy. Daddy cannot give that healing energy. Mommy has it. Immediately, the child puts his head or her head on mommy's heart. They feel that they are okay now. They can survive with a broken nose even because mommy is there. And this is the role of the woman. There is nothing new in these things, but the understanding and recollection and digestion of these ideas will make you work on these things consciously. The next task is very important one, and it is a great role that was suggested by this great world mother. What is it? To bring in advanced souls and raise them properly. How are you going to do that? Just to answer this item, I wrote 300 pages in Women, the Torch of the Future. And in that book, I explained how a woman must try to bring advanced souls into incarnation. How will she eat? How will she choose her husband? How will she relate, make love? What will happen after pregnancy? What kind of physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual conditions must she develop within herself so that she attracts a beautiful soul and increases the heroic, the creative, the noble people on the earth? How to do that? I know masters must be thinking how much I want to read, but yeah, this is what I've been told to do. For example, she must do meditation, she must read, she must sing and listen to high level music. She must keep her mind really elevated. She must not watch criminal and violent movies. She's going to do that. Learn it. It is a great science. Maybe one of you in the future will write about how to bring great souls into the world. In the Upanishads, for example, we read something very, very beautiful. In the Upanishads, the sage teaches how you must have sex and what you must do before that. There is a preparation for 3 or 4 hours. It is not jumping into the bed and making the women pregnant. I was surprised, I said, my goodness, these things must not be written in the holy books. But what is holier than to bring a child on earth? It is a holy process. It's a miracle. Yes, we should see the positivity in these sentences, masters. Women are going to learn and research and find chiropractic, medical, psychological, psychiatric, scientific, whatever is possible. The ways her child can be born really physically healthy, top physical health, emotional health, mental health, and a great creative source. Can she be proud of it? Of course, because a woman's glory and pride and joy is her children. Her children, you see, the pride is joy. She feels that joy because her child dedicated his or her life to save a great number of human beings from disaster. Wow, my child did that. How proud I am, my child, the curer of the greatest disease. My child found something that made millions happier. My child led a nation from darkness to light. My child brought goodness, beauty, and truth. My child, and then if you ask her, she will say, your child also, because I brought it for you. It's the women's spirit. Women will prepare to bring nice children. It is a great science, but I'm touching on it. So, masters, continuing this, we have the 11th point. The next task is to work in all departments of a nation equally with men. I am prophesying that in a very few years, you will have a women president, you will have more women senators, you will have more representatives in the House, women. Not that women are going to overflow, but at least the numbers are going to be equal. Then problems can be seen from different angles. That man is seeing that way, but seeing is seeing this way. Well, in two viewpoints, we have so more understanding than in one viewpoint. Did you see that? And it is increasing. I was watching a congressional meeting and two women came and spoke there. I may be pronouncing it wrong, masters. Outstanding, outstanding women, I said. Gosh, we need hundreds like that. So that is what is a women's role. It is to work equally with men for one reason, to liberate humanity for greater destination. It is not to boost that women is more advanced than man, but to work equally. Do not forget that equality. The next task is to prevent exploitation in any field of human endeavor. Women must not tolerate the exploitation of their children. For example, the stories may be candy. They sell the candy for $1. The candy is really bad for the children's blood, the children's heart. And the women ask, why make money at the expense of my children? Who are women's children? Every child is her child. Every man is a child. This man is working 8 hours and is paid for 6 hours. No, he must be paid for 8 hours. This man is condemned unrighteously. He must find ways for righteousness. This is the task of women. Any unrighteousness in any field is a painful needle in her heart. She must remove it. She feels the pains and the unrighteousness of other people because she is becoming the world mother. She is slowly entering into the magnetic field of that great world mother. As she enters more deeply, she understands the principle of unity and synthesis better. It is very beautiful. Sorry, masters. The next task is very interesting. To keep teaching the ageless wisdom pure and to safeguard the teaching. Man is not going to safeguard the teaching. It is the woman's destiny to the teaching the pure. If a woman does not keep the teaching pure, that teaching will get lost. In all traditions, in all ancient esoteric writings, you can see that it is the women who kept the teaching pure. Man acted and showed off, but the treasure is guarded by the women. The women kept the teaching pure. How did she start to keep the teaching pure? By teaching through the children, then speaking about it to her husband, then speaking about it to groups, keeping the books and inspired secrets of the ages so that they do not become polluted by the interest and insanity of human beings. When we ask, for example, what does Sophia mean? The answer is wisdom. And who is Sophia? A woman.
Sophia, the divine wisdom, is always kept by the women. Wisdom does not live in the head, wisdom lives in the heart. And the woman's heart is more advanced than the man's heart. And it is the heart that understands. So a woman must guard her heart, protect the teaching, and use discrimination. Shall my children read this kind of book or that kind of book? Well, use your discrimination. Shall my children, what she says, a woman is going to at least very beautifully censor and watch what the girl or the boy are reading, where they are going, where they are doing, not like the place, but in gracefulness and beauty. You can really guide your children, and that is what the woman is going to do. It is very important that keeps beauty, goodness, truth, and happiness in her family, preventing everything that is against these values. When we are talking about the teaching, we are not talking about ideas. The teaching is beauty. If you really know beauty, you know the teaching. The teaching is goodness. Do you know goodness? Are you good? Yes, then you know the teaching. Do you really know joy? Are you joyful? Yes, you know the teaching. So, masters, this goes on actually. I would like, yes, now we're coming to some few more pages. I would seek permission. I think we'll ask Padmama whether I should continue. I'll last paragraph we'll read. The woman is going to take the essence of things, that is the teaching, and keep the family pure, purity of thinking, and these kind of things in her family. Then how to teach a woman to be closer to the world mother? How can we advance? How can we, a woman, become a part of that world mother, be a messenger of that world mother, and eventually be an entrepreneur of the wisdom the world mother has? Now, again, masters, there are 8 steps. Do we have the time, Hema ma'am? Do you think we can finish this?
Yes, I think, Aparnaji. Because, the next session is again at 3:30.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
So we are having, yeah.
So should I stop it there before I stop in between? I think
No, we are
masters-
having still half an hour because another, who is there next? Pushpaji will be taking half an hour afterwards.
Okay, then I'll
After
continue.
half an hour. Yeah,
I'll
perfect.
continue. Okay. Then how to teach?
No.
Now how to teach the
Aparna.
kids? Amma.
Aparnaji.
Yes, Amma.
3,
Anything?
4:30.
I can't hear.
Next speaker ready.
Okay. So, masters, now here's the suspense for the rest of the chapters. You would have to go and get this book and read it on your own. So, I would like once again thank Geeta Saradarian ma'am for giving this opportunity to read the pages from the book. And thanks to her father, Torkum Saradarian sir, whom Patri sir always believed and encouraged us to read. Thank you, Hima ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Aparna ma'am, for reading Geeta Saradarian madam's beautiful pages. You are here to bring the Geeta madam energies. We could literally feel while you were speaking and reading those pages. We could feel the energy of Geeta ma'am, and we are very much thankful to Torkam Saradarian sir also, because he's the father of her. And see how a beautiful father who does meditation and who is on the spiritual path, how the daughters and sons will be, right? So in the
Yes.
same way, we are also the changers, right? The game changers now. Our children will become the most beautiful persons in the planet, just as Geeta ma'am. So beautifully she has explained the power of women, who actually women is. And thank you so much, Geeta ma'am. Wherever you are, we are sending the vibrations of our gratitude to you. Thank you.
All
Thank you,
together,
Aparna ma'am.
yes, share this moment with her, and it is her we see that she's present with us. As you said, very well said. As I was reading these pages, the previous sessions are all I felt with this was happening, and we are summing it up here, and it will be carrying over from here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Padma ma'am, you want to share anything about Geeta ma'am? Yes.
గీతా మ్యామ్ గురించి నాకు పెద్దగా తెలియదు, కానీ నేను టార్కమ్ బుక్స్ చాలా చదివాను. ఆయన తెలుగులోకి ట్రాన్స్లేట్ అయినవి, కొన్ని ఇంగ్లీష్లోవి చాలా చదివాను. ప్రత్యేకించి ఆ బుక్స్ లో నాకేం కనిపిస్తుంది అంటే, ప్రత్యేకించి స్త్రీలు ఎలా వాళ్ళే ముందుకు నడిపించుకోగలరు అనే సమాచారం ఎక్కువగా ఇచ్చేలానే అది ఉండేది. ఈరోజు మరి మనం ఈ సమ్మిట్ లోకి గీతా సర్డేరియన్ మ్యామ్ ని ఇన్వైట్ చేయడం, ఆమె ఎంతో ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ గా రావాలని చూసినా కానీ బికాజ్ ఆఫ్ హర్ కమిట్మెంట్స్ తను రాలేకపోవడం. నేను ఈ పేజెస్ చదువుదాం అనుకున్నాను, ఆవిడకి అది ఉంది, ఈ పేజెస్ ఈ సమ్మిట్ లో చదవాలి అని చెప్పేసి చదువుదాం అనుకున్నాను. నేను రాలేకపోతున్నాను, మీరు చదువుతారా అని చెప్పేసి అడిగారు. ఎస్, ఓకే, అంతకంటేనా అని చెప్పేసి మనం తీసుకున్నాము. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ గీతా మ్యామ్. మీ గురించి మాకు ఎక్కువ తెలియదు, కానీ మీ నాన్నగారి గురించి మాకు చాలా తెలుసు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. మీ ద్వారా మీ నాన్నగారిని కూడా ఇక్కడికి తీసుకొచ్చినందుకు గాను థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ అపర్ణ. చాలా బ్యూటిఫుల్ గా మీరు దాన్ని చదివారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.
Thank you, Amma.
Thank you.
It's all your motivation, Hima ma'am, because Amma believed that I could read and I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Padma ma'am. Actually, we could feel the power of female power. Like, in the absence of them also, we can bring the energies just by talking about what they have shared. If we talk about that person is right in front of us. Thanks for that opportunity. We have experienced a different opportunity today, right now.